We've been looking at ways to measure the middle of our data. We found the mean, the median, and the mode. We found how to calculate all of those. Now we can do something that's similar but related. A little different, but it's related. Um, that's called quartiles and the 5-number summary. This helps us to understand a little bit of the middle of our data or our center of data, but it also starts helping us to understand the spread of our data as well. And we'll talk more about that in lesson 7. But in the meantime, let's just talk about how do we find quartiles and what are they? Well, we talked about the median and how the median can divide our data in half. Well, theoretically, can't we divide each half in half again to divide our data into quarters? Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we've got this data set up here. We have 20 data points. If you don't remember what the median is, pause the video here and see if you can figure out what is the median. All right, so the median, 20 data points. That means if we divide it in half, there will be 10 data points on either side. And so in between the numbers 5 and 6, we'll put our median right there. And that will give us 10 data points on the left and 10 data points on the right. And so our median is right in the middle. It's going to be 5.5. Take the average of 5 and 6. Okay, so we've divided in half. Now we're going to divide each half in half again to divide it into quarters. So we're going to take the left half, which goes from 0 up to this 5. Since the median is between 5 and 6, this 5 was not the median, so we can count it. We can include it. All right? That changes if the median is a value, but we'll see that later on. All right? 0 to 5, this is the first half. Take a second, pause the video. What's the median of the first half? Okay, if you did this calculation, you should find 10 data points. Make it so that there are 5 data points on either side. That means that the median of the first half is between the 2 and the 3. Good. Now do the same thing for the right side. Pause the video and see if you can figure it out. All right, so again, 10 data points, 5 points on either side. That would put the median directly between these two 7s. Well, what's the average of 7 and 7? Well, it's 7. So what we have then is our data set is now divided into quarters, into 4 pieces, and the separations are the median of the first half, which we are now going to call the first quartile. Why? Because it's the value above the first quarter of your data. The second quartile is the value above the second quarter of your data, also known as the median. It's the same thing. Second quartile and median are the same. Third quartile is the value above the third quarter of your data. And what are the separation points? Your first quartile is 2.5. Your median is 5.5. And your third quartile is 7. There you go. We've divided the data into quarters. Now, we say, well, the first quartile is the value above the first quarter. The third quartile is the value above the third quarter. Is there a value at the top of the fourth quarter? Absolutely. We could call it the fourth quartile if we want, but really, it's just the maximum value of our data set. The fourth quartile, or the maximum, is just the largest number in our data set. Well, since we included that, we included one end of our data set. Let's include the other. We'll talk about the minimum, which is the smallest number in our data set. We now have 5 numbers that help explain the distribution of our data set. And these 5 numbers we combine together to form the 5-number summary. The minimum, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum. These 5 numbers are often used to describe the distribution of a quantitative variable. Now, it's your turn. I have this data set here. This one line, the first line up here is your data set. I have not only given you the data set, I've given you an advantage. I've also reordered the same data set. So it's the same data, but it's now ordered. Pause the video, find the 5-number summary of this data set. Okay, notice in this case that we have an odd number of data points. There are 9 values up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means if we divide it in half, well, the half point would be 22 itself. Okay, that is the median because that is the center point of our data set. It gives you 4 data points on either side. That is our median. Now, what'd you guys get for the quartiles? Here's a little hint. Since the value of 22 was the median, we are not going to include it in either half. We're just not going to include it at all. So now each half only has 4 data points on either side. With that, if that changes your thinking, pause the video again and see if you can find the quartiles or the median of each side. All right. So since there are 4 values on each side, that's an even number of data points. We're going to have 2 values on either side to help us find the quartiles. We just take the average of these 2 numbers. Quartile 1, which I'm going to abbreviate from now on as Q1, quartile 1, is going to be the average of 21.93 and 21.95. So the first quartile is 21.94. In the second half, the third quartile is going to be the average of 22.07 and 22.71, which means that my third quartile is going to be 21.39. Okay, so then we take the minimum and the maximum. We now have our 5 numbers. Here is the 5-number summary. Minimum is 21.78. The first quartile is 21.94. The median is 22.0. Third quartile is 21.39. And the maximum is 23.42. All right, in our next video, I'm going to do a video showing you how to do this on a calculator. But after that, I'm going to show you how to actually create a new kind of graph I haven't shown you yet called a box plot, whose purpose is to show this 5-number summary.